think Zambian youth are not lazy?
Okay, so this is a debate. So other people are saying they are lazy, and others are saying they are not.
It's just me saying they're lazy, and everybody's saying they're not.
Oh, everyone is saying they are not.
Yeah, and I think they are.
Okay, looking at it on the context that they are not. I think many young people are contributing so much to the economy of the country. The only reason why some just can't bring out their potentials is because of the environment itself. It's not conducive enough, especially, and there's some people who really want to work hard, but the resources in Zambia are really scarce. They're really scarce. And also looking at the fact that there's so much corruption. Like I personally have tried to do certain things, but because of corruption, I wasn't able to make it to the top because people are more interested in money and less with the young people. Then there are less activities that really involve young people. Mostly it's older people or this and that. Otherwise, young people are really contributing. For example, if you look at initiatives that people are coming up with, I know of somebody who came up with some really good machine that would contribute so highly, but because they were not exposed, they didn't know the right places to go to. Even if they went there, they'll just look at the machine. They won't even think about what to do with it and everything. But that thing would have actually contributed so much to the economy and helped the young person. So I personally think the young people are doing so much. But because of the influence from our older people, especially the government, the top most people, it's very difficult for them to just bring out their full potential and just contribute to the development of the country.
Great, I hear you, yeah. And I hear what you're saying. It's very unfortunate about your friend and the machine, and also you, like you said, you tried to apply, but what I'm advocating for in my argument is work experience. So a good idea is a good idea, obviously, but I think what differentiates a good idea with a great idea is actually seeing it, like actually seeing the idea alive. But the thing is, if you have no work experience, you have no idea how to market your machine or whatever your product is. You don't know how to manage customers. You don't know how to keep your books. And that's all. Those are all skills sometimes you don't learn in the classroom. You can learn through volunteering. You don't have to always wait till fourth year to get an internship. Some companies, like the startups that we work for, we're looking for people that want to build their skills and portfolio through other young companies. And that's how you start to differentiate yourself, so that even when you go and apply for a job, for example, yes, you're as much as we can say there's the corruption game, at the end of the day, all businesses want to make money. So if you're able to show like, hey, I've qualified, yes, like all the other people in my class qualified, but I have a lot of work experience behind me in terms of I can handle money because I volunteered at this place to handle, even if it's a cantemba, you're just able to show that you can handle customers compared to somebody that just went to class and passed exams. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with passing exams, but work experience is not in our culture because young people are lazy. Young people will not work for free, even if it's just in the next road, even if it's just cleaning the house next door. You just volunteer like that. Like, we will never do that. And that's why I think people are lazy, because like you are saying, we do have a lot to offer and contribute, but we don't know how to maintain and keep it because we don't go all out of our way to get skills. Like in university, you get theory-based skills. You don't get practical, technical skills from university. You get skills about, learning about the business environment, for example. But you don't learn how to keep a business. You don't know how to market your product unless you're doing it hands-on. You're actually involved. And I don't blame the government 100% for that, because at the end of the day, the government wasn't there when you are passing your exams. Now, when you finish, where should they come from to now start giving you a job? So I don't know. I just see it as the more excuses we make, the more we just comfort ourselves to keep being lazy.
I think it's not excuses. Okay, I do agree that but some work experiences will be like 3 months or 3 years experience.
It helps you stand out.
Work for 3 years voluntarily working for 3 good years, because that's the experience most work things have. In Zambia, you can't you can't survive without going to school. That's the main reason why most of us are forced to go into universities, study for 4 good years just for a degree. Because once you don't have papers, all you can get maybe is just a job on contract, but you can't get a full-time job. So looking at the space in which we are right now, it's very difficult for you to survive without a genuine paper.
Can you imagine
So
if
that's
you got
basically why I
if
was
you got that work experience, even if it was unpaid for 3 years, but you're in first year and your degree is 4 years, right? So from first year, you're working at this place, and first year, we all know your parents, if you're fortunate enough, most times, you're not the one that's paying the bills. You're not paying for your school fees. Sometimes there's some people that are paying for their own school fees. But let's say for the average student in university, accommodation is sorted out, allowance is coming in, you've got a schedule, you've got free times. We all know we have free time as students. I'm also a student. And we have every year 3 months holidays. So if you're working for a company from first year, you're volunteering at that company, you're proving your worth, you're proving your loyalty, you're proving to yourself also that, okay, I know I never used to know how to talk to people, but now I can. By the time you're graduating in 4th year and you're going to apply, even if it's to that same company or another company, you'll be out of, you won't even be able to fit in that contract bracket. You'll be like, look, I managed, I did this since first year. I know my stuff. And you can't tell me, like, okay, you don't have to be pompous. Like, you can't tell me anything. But you'll be like, no, I just stand out compared to other people. Now, yes, it's very hard if you want to do that after your degree. After everybody has that same paper like you, now that's when you want to start differentiating yourself. But if you had started from first year, if you had started from even that high school gap year, that's very common. Even if you had started then, getting to my small jobs, because you have less responsibilities when you're younger. And then by the time you're older, you'll be able to stand out and be like, no, I can prove myself. I don't have to just rely on a paper that 100 other people have just from my school alone. There are other schools where there are way more students who got way better grades, or I know people get way better grades than me, that's for sure. So I need to stand out. I need to start working from the beginning. Like, especially first year, we all know, like, the classes are not that bad. Maybe 4th
but
year.
Then still, even...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh my gosh, the classes are crazy most of the time in first year. And then again, I don't think it's really called laziness if you don't volunteer to get a job. I think for you, the fact that you have gone to school and gone for a 4-year degree program, I don't think you're lazy, because school is really tough and all that. It means you're putting in so much effort. So I don't really think that proves youths are lazy because they can't volunteer, and some schools are really tough. CBU, like, you have less time to actually just do other things, but mostly I'm also volunteering. I'm a presenter on TV too. We do it for free. I come most of the time after I'm back from CBU on holiday. I volunteer. I go there. But when we open, we go back to school. So I think going to school itself is really so much input for young people, unless all you do is just stay home, sit and do nothing. So doing voluntary jobs is, yes, I could recommend it, but even if you get that experience, I just think jobs in Zambia are scarce, and then I think it all comes down to luck. Like, even if you have 3 years experience, the people who get a job as quick as possible, even if they don't even have the experience, but others would have the experience and the papers, but they still don't get the job. So I don't think it's the young people. Okay, maybe both have contributed, the government and the young people, but still it comes down to just the country itself, Zambia. It's just...
I mean, I like how you talked about being a presenter, because there are some people that we grew up seeing them on TV, and, you know, we don't know their stories now. But I remember looking at Lulu Hangala Wood, who everybody confuses me for sometimes. Like, no, Lulu's Business Connect is not for Lulu Hangala. But you know her, right?
Mm-hmm. I know Lulu Hangala.
Yeah, I saw her. Was it CLZ adverts? And I'm like, whoa, is this the same person? Like, how? But even listening to her interviews, that woman worked. She was a maid, and then she ended up doing those to my same CLZ promotions, and then now look where she is. But compare that to someone that just did nothing. And that's what's common. A lot of people are just doing nothing. And then when they graduate, like, there's no job. Oh, it's just the country. Oh, it's just the environment. Like, good on you for putting yourself out there and volunteering, because it just means like you're one leg up. You may not see it now, but when in 4 years time, when you do graduate, you will have speaking skills that even if a person got straight 80%, they can't compete with that. You can't compete with skills. You can compete, yes, with grades, but when it comes to skills, companies are looking for that. And even, I think corruption really does, I don't know what word I can use, but it fades out there, because a company at the end of the day wants to make money. Even if bakaya, what they want to make money. So if they see that, okay, this person can speak for us, this person can market for us because of your experience, they will choose you. But if you approach a company and you know you can't speak, but you've got 80% in all of your grades, I mean, that's all well and good. But I mean, hello, like, how will you make us money? You know, like, okay, yes, maybe now you have your connections. And that's what we also provide. We're not just saying, get work experience and then you won't have connections. Platforms like LBC are looking to connect people that want to work with startup companies or mid-class companies and get their portfolios built. So even when you approach a bigger company, you'll be starting from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the environments are bad, but it's not like people haven't survived. It's just you don't know how to get to them. And our company is trying to act like a bridge for people. Like, first build your portfolio before you approach these 50-year-old companies, because you're not the first one, but you need to stand out. And if you don't want to stand out, that's just being lazy, which is what a lot of people don't want to do. A lot of people don't want to stand out. A lot of people wouldn't do what you're doing, which is TV presenting. Like, a lot of people wouldn't think that that's important. And that's the other thing. When it comes to environment, don't forget the people. Like, yes, there's government or whatever, but the people in your own circle, those are also, like, the real lazy people are the ones that will laugh at you like, you're going to do that again. Those are the ones I'm talking about. The youth are lazy because they make it normal for you to just be chilling every weekend or like just going to class and that's it. Pretending like at the end of this, we're not all going to be fighting for the same job. Like, no, you go out there and do what you have to do to get your work experience. And if not, you want to continue just chilling with your friends every weekend and slaying. I mean, you know, I'm all for slaying, but not every day. Like, you can't. It's just impossible. So when you start to focus on building yourself, that for me, it shows a willingness to use your energy and skills. And that's what the opposite of laziness is. But if you show that you're unwilling, you're just willing to just be chilling and, you know, not building yourself up, considering that it's already hard, you're not willing to do anything about it, that's being lazy. The fact that we all know it's hard in Zambia, that's why we should be doing something. Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, you're back. The fact that we know it's hard, that's why we should be doing something. And the fact that people are not doing anything, the fact that it's more common to just be chilling, is not common to be volunteering, that's what I think. People are lazy. Like, people are lazy. I feel like the only reason you find it hard, even if you're volunteering, you don't see the value in it, is because everyone else around you is just doing nothing. But if everybody else around you was also, let's say, fighting for that presenter job, you'd also be like, oh, it's important that I'm here, can't you? But they're not, because they're lazy. And that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, they might. Okay, at the end of the day, in an environment, you won't only have people who work hard. You also have people who are lazy, and then there are still so many people who are lazy, and there's still so many people who can work hard. That's the thing. And then even if they work hard, it's very. I can hear, yes, there are so many platforms. People will tell me, no, we have a platform that encourages young people. But if we go to the offices, go there and ask for opportunities, we see what's there. Everybody's busy. Nobody's willing to attend to you. But they're there on TV talking about it, telling us, no, young people can come to offices, they come with ideas. We go with ideas, we come back with our ideas. That's the thing. There's so much negativity. So that's why many young people, in fact, some people give up. That's why.
Yeah, it's true. I really don't blame you for that. Like, even with LBC starting, our motto, our mission is we're trying to get young people and young companies out of the habit of relying on older generational companies for permission and opportunity to do business. So that kind of thing of always going to a bigger company and saying, is my idea good enough? Can you guys help me? That's what we're trying to be like, no, not anymore. Because you have a small company that's on that come up, but they don't have support. Like, let's say they need a supplier. That's also another startup company that's like, oh, I want to start supplying these things. You won't get the same prices from that small supplier compared to like the big companies that are saying, oh, all the young companies should come to us and we'll support them. Like, you won't get that. And that's who we're trying to find. We're trying to get on our board, on our membership plans and everything. Because at the same time, like I said, you have good ideas, but you don't know how to market them. We'll look for those marketing students that need an internship, you know? So Yeah, that's kind of how we work. I mean, exactly what you said is the problem we've also identified in the economy. Is like, yeah, people promise, but then like nothing practical is happening. But there are people with practical ideas that need support. But if you're from the beginning, if you're ready to just give up and say no, the economy is bad, then that's the way I'm saying you're lazy. Like you're not willing to go the extra mile. Like you have to come with something, start with something before people can support you. Like how can you provide support on ideas? Like yes, ideas are good, but you can't support them. You can't think for other people. You have to see it. It has to be something. And you're like, okay, yeah, now we can support you. Now we can give you money. Now we can give you connections. But then if you're just like saying, no, me, I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, we all want to do something. Right? Let's see how hard you're willing to work. Like let's see how much money you want to put for yourself first. That's when we also start putting money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I do.
But otherwise, people don't want to work. People don't want to work. They're lazy.
People want to work. But okay, yes, people want to work, but people want money.
Exactly.
Like, I get so much negativity when I say I do this for free and stuff like that. How can you do that for free? But then it's because there's so much desperation for money and we want to stand out, especially as young people. We all want to be on, the top.
Yeah.
That's the thing, want to play and everything.
Exactly.
But then, yeah, but then it's nature. It's human nature. Everybody wants to stand out. Like,
it's the lazy nature.
No. We are rational.
No, it's lazy.
We all want.
I mean, look at how
laziness.
with youth in Zambia, the number one complaint is government doesn't help me because, government are perceived to be the highest payers. So just what you said, like we want to climb the ladder fast. That's why everybody's rushing to government because they're like, when these guys pay, they pay good. No, they don't want like their neighbors to support them. They don't want the people that they grew up with to buy from their business. They want the big money from government. And it's like, well, if you don't get that, does that mean you give up? Like you're saying, like, it's just a culture of laziness. That's what I say. That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, you can compare or whatever, but comparing doesn't really get you anywhere. It really doesn't. It doesn't fix anything. So I think it's just laziness. Like we come up with these excuses so we can feel good about ourselves and be like, it's okay. That's what I think.
But then mostly people going to the government is simply to just safeguard yourself. Like people think if you go into private or get into private institutions or anything,
that you don't have to work hard.
To your job.
They don't want to work hard. That's being lazy.
They do want to work.
No, but they want to work hard for the government. Like what you said is security. So you don't want to work even extra harder with private companies. You want to just work like, okay, like you want to work hard, but for the government because, it's secure. But you don't want to work like...
private companies don't really guarantee you to have the job you're having for the next, I don't know how many years.
Because you can't guarantee them money. You have no work experience. You are lazy. Like if you can't guarantee them money. Imagine if you can guarantee a private company money. Don't you think they'll keep you on board? Don't you think they're like, this one can't leave? If anything, if private companies, if you want to start your own business, they'll even be like, Monday, just start. You know what I mean? You get that close relationship with your boss in our culture. But now with government, they'll just be like, how many people would they be doing that to? So they just don't do it. They're like, okay, we'll just give you security and that's about it. Here's your minimum wage of 2,000 kwacha. And now you can't leave.
Private companies, both private companies, for example, if you look at teaching, everyone is running to government schools and everything because they get less money from private institutions. Not that they are not putting in so much input, but I think mostly they just focus on them. Most private companies just want to focus on them making their money and not really on the workers. So
but think about it this way also, like if you're teaching in a government or private thing, if you're a good teacher, you're a good teacher. If your students get good grades, that's what goes on your portfolio. So regardless of who employs you, if it's a private company, they want to keep you. Once they start saying like, this teacher is good, like everyone will end up wanting them. That's how your salary goes up. Your salary won't go up just because you're a qualified teacher. Like your salary goes up because like you know your stuff. You use like a YouTube channel, you started seeing how they're teaching in other countries, and you're like, okay, I'm going to spice up my classes. You start learning extra skills. You work a bit harder, and that's how you become sought after. You just become on demand because you've improved yourself. Like, yes, if I'm just going to qualify as a teacher and 1,000 other people also want my job, like, yeah, I'll go to government, I guess. But if I want to, you know, stand out and grow in my career, I have to work for that. And if I don't, then I'm lazy. So I just have to accept it. Like, I'll just have to move on. Like, okay, this is how it is.
No, I agree with that. But we still have very much hardworking people out there. Trust me.
There are.
Exactly. So we can't just stand on the negative side and say young people are lazy, because yes, there are some lazy young people, but there's still hardworking people out there. So,
okay, Lynn, let's talk for ourselves here. It's either one of us has to stop or continue. So it's either you stop complaining and arguing for other people and you start to do something for yourself, or people like me, the way people say, it's either I stop also. Let me not even like complain too much. Either I stop what I'm doing with LBC and continue with the current environment, since people work hard anyway. Do you see how it becomes an individual game? Like, it's about what you do and not what's going on in the economy. So it's either you stop complaining and you ask what kind of opportunities are out there with LBC, or LBC just stops and I'm like, it's already hard. Do you see like how it's about the individual and not other people? It's just about us, our laziness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it really has nothing to do with other people sometimes. Like, people like to say, no, it's other people. Like, some people are hardworking. No, like, let's talk about you. Are you willing to work hard? Are you willing to join memberships and, you know, attend events and network and talk to people that are just starting out to business and, you know, to get rejected sometimes? Are you willing to do that? Put in like extra hours because you're a student? You know, it's things like that. And not saying, oh, it's some people that are hardworking. No, you should be able to say, I'm hardworking. Like, I'm hardworking. And if LBC shut down today, some businesses wouldn't manage, I believe. Yeah. Especially because we're based in Kitwe. There's not enough support for startups in Kitwe. So we do that. We're trying to do what I was explaining earlier on. So yeah, it's an individual stop or start, and there are not enough individuals continuing. There are not enough individuals saying, okay, I'm done complaining. I'm going to just work hard, see where this takes me, because we're lazy.
Anyways, I think the fact of the matter is the government will never be able to provide jobs for each and every human being in Zambia who graduates from whatever university.
We're number last in the line. Like, we're not. The thing is, people think they're the first person to ask government for something, but you're like, if you're asking today, there was someone yesterday, there was someone last week asking from government, there was someone 2 years ago, there's someone in the village also asking. So the fact that people always go to government like they should be number one in the line, I don't understand that Chulusha mentality. Like, you've Chulusha the line, and now government should focus on you and provide for you. I think it's one of those things, like, you want corruption now to work for you. Like, no, government should forget anyone else, just support my business. Like, how? What do you mean? With no portfolio, no, you haven't proven that you're hardworking. You haven't proven that you're able to retain customers. You just want that support, that's a job. That's what I think is laziness. Like, the Chulusha mentality is laziness.
The mentality of putting spoon feeding and everything.
Yes,
it's what you're referring to as laziness.
Yes, exactly. You put it. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay. Caller number 5. Oh, caller number 4. It's up to you to decide whether
you have really valid points.
Thank you. So are you giving up your money? Because you are starting with us. If you want this debate, you're about to win 200. But since you say I won, the money will be kept and going to the next person. But we do hope to see you at our events. We'll send you our details. Thank you so much for your time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.